Here's your wrestling news for May 15th, 2021, and your headlines for today include WWE's current plan for Zelina Vega's return. Vince McMahon is looking to freshen up Raw brand with new faces from the current roster. New Jack passed away at the age of 58. WWE pays homage to the former ECW legend. WWE contacted by pro-Israel groups upset over Sami Zayn's comments. Why WWE decided to book a Fatal 4-Way match on SmackDown and not on WrestleMania Backlash. Becky Lynch looks absolutely ripped while training for a WWE return. AEW in talks with Andrade. Huge backstage update on Sasha Banks' plans for WrestleMania Backlash. WWE pulls Mia Yim's SmackDown debut again this week. John Cena to return at WrestleMania Backlash for promotion. Sonya Deville's stalker found incompetent to stand trial, and more. We are kicking off today with Zelina Vega, who was spotted filming content at the WWE's Performance Center, fueling rumors of a return to the company. Several outlets have said that Vega is coming back, and now we know what she'll be doing as a WWE superstar again. When Ringside News asked their sources, they were told that Vega will be on the main roster, despite her recently filming alongside NXT protege Simone Johnson, aka The Rock's daughter. It wasn't specified which brand Vega will be on, but there's plenty of options for her, especially as her husband Aleister Black recently returned to SmackDown in video packages. After her release last September, which came minutes after Vega said she supports unions, she said that she was heartbroken by the decision, but the future looks bright for the 30-year-old superstar. We know that Vega won't return to manage Andrade, who was granted his requested release in March without the standard 90-day non-compete clause. Not having to wait around, Andrade has already appeared for AAA, challenging Kenny Omega for the AAA Mega Championship at Triplemania, but now the former NXT champion could be facing Omega in a much different setting. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Andrade and AEW have been in communications, though there's no word on where those discussions stand at this time. Fans may not have to wait long to see El Idolo in an all-elite ring, as AEW Double or Nothing is happening this Sunday and is traditionally a night for huge debuts. At the first event in 2019, Jon Moxley made his AEW debut, whilst Brian Cage debuted at the 2020 show, and now Andrade could keep that streak going, depending on these ongoing discussions. We've got some sad news to report now, as former ECW star New Jack has died, aged 58. New Jack's wife personally informed PW Insider of his passing after he suffered a heart attack in his North Carolina home. In a statement on their site, WWE expressed their condolences to New Jack, describing him as having a fierce competitive style and being well known for pushing the limits of hardcore wrestling to their furthest extremes. One of the most controversial wrestlers of his day, New Jack was known for his hardcore style and even had an episode of Dark Side of the Ring about him, and we're sending our condolences to the former ECW Tag Champions' friends and family at this time. SmackDown news in this week's show saw Jimmy Uso appear, rocking a shirt with some very interesting phrasing. Donning a shirt with the phrase, "I'm nobody's bitch." This line stems from Jimmy's refusal to acknowledge Roman Reigns as tribal chief and his disapproval to how Reigns has treated Jey Uso. On May 11th, WWE filed a trademark for the line to be used in entertainment and merchandise, so fans could soon be picking up that same shirt on WWEshop.com. Now, yesterday we reported how Charlotte Flair got into hot water with some fans for liking a pro-Israel tweet from actress Gal Gadot, which the Queen said was an unintentional pocket-like. One person who hasn't hidden their views of the Israeli-Palestine conflict is Sami Zayn, who has been prominently pro-Palestine for years, and that recently got him in hot water. On Twitter, Zayn has used the hashtag #FreePalestine on his timeline, and according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, several pro-Israel groups have contacted WWE, NBC Universal, and Fox about Zayn's comments. It's not clear what demands these groups made of the various companies regarding Zayn's behavior, but the Observer did report that neither WWE, NBCU, or Fox responded. As of this time, Zayn has no heat with WWE over his tweets in support of Palestine, where he's referenced Palestinian children being killed in the ongoing conflict, but it still got him in hot water with groups outside the company who didn't appreciate what he's been saying. More from SmackDown, and this week's show saw Intercontinental Champion Apollo Crews try and award a medal to Commander Aziz, which didn't go according to plan. Mid-ceremony, Big E interrupted on the screen before Sami Zayn did so in person, and it didn't take long before Kevin Owens appeared and chaos ensued. When Crews confronted Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville backstage, it was Deville who suggested a fatal four-way title match for next week's SmackDown, not for this Sunday's WrestleMania Backlash. This is hardly the first time WWE have put a pay-per-view level match on free TV, though it makes sense given the value of WWE's deal with Fox. There was a subtle tense moment between Pearce and Deville in the above-mentioned segment on SmackDown, where the former told the latter not to undermine him in front of the talent, and we'll have to see if Deville heeds that advice next week. Now, Becky Lynch's return to WWE is one of the most highly anticipated events in professional wrestling right now, and the man has given another teaser that her return to TV is imminent. A photo posted on the Dead Boys Fitness Instagram shows the former Raw Women's Champion working out while her daughter Rue rests in the background, and Lynch looks to be in phenomenal condition. Lynch relinquished the Raw Women's title in May last year before giving birth to Rue on December 4, 2020. And although the man didn't come around at WrestleMania like many fans expected, her return will be happening sooner rather than later. WrestleMania Backlash news next, as Sasha Banks isn't booked for this Sunday's show, but that won't stop the boss from making her presence known. Backstage rumors are circulating that Banks is planning to appear and will attack SmackDown Women's Champion Bianca Belair during her title match with Bayley, which will make for an exciting twist, just as long as it doesn't cause a disqualification. Despite losing the title to Belair at WrestleMania, Banks hasn't had a rematch, and her spot has been filled by Bayley instead, following backstage altercations between the EST of WWE and the role model. Before her feud with Belair, Banks was involved in a lengthy feud with Bayley, meaning that WWE could be building to a triple threat between the trio after WrestleMania Backlash, with Banks continuing to pose a serious threat to Belair's reign as champion. As for this Sunday, Belair is expected to retain the gold in what'll be her first title defense, but her celebration may be short-lived thanks to a sneak attack by the boss. This may not be WWE's only plan for Banks, as on Raw, Alexa Bliss and Lily have their eyes set on somebody, and that somebody could be the boss. When Banks shared a photo on social media with a caption about the power of darkness, Bliss chimed in, saying there's always room for more on her playground, and her response was popular with fans who dubbed the potential tag team Alexa. Bliss has been one of the most interesting characters in WWE over the past year, as her alliance with The Fiend has taken her to darker new territories, and if Banks is out of the SmackDown Women's title picture, a move to Raw and an alliance with Bliss and Lily could be exactly what she needs. Last week, Mia Yim's SmackDown debut was nixed at the last minute, and now fans will have to wait even longer to see the former Retribution star in action. According to Dave Meltzer, Yim's SmackDown debut was rescheduled and meant to happen during last night's show, but that didn't happen either. This doesn't mean WWE have given up on Yim, as they could be waiting for her to debut after WrestleMania Backlash, but for now, the HBIC is still waiting for her SmackDown debut 2 weeks after it was meant to happen. Speaking of names not being on TV, Brock Lesnar hasn't competed in over a year, but there's still plenty of superstars, both past and present, who want a piece of the Beast incarnate. After joining WWE in 2008, Vladimir Kozlov left the company in 2012, with a win over The Undertaker and a tag team title reign to his name, but while speaking to Ringsiders Wrestling this week, the Moscow Mauler made it clear that he's game for an MMA fight with Lesnar. He said, "It could be very interesting. If we have an opportunity in the future like that, you have to concentrate on this specific fight because he's a big guy and he's very powerful and he is in good shape too. But it can be interesting. I like challenges." Lesnar hasn't had an MMA fight since his one-night return at UFC 200 in 2016, and time will tell if the Beast and the Moscow Mauler ever lock horns in the octagon. Lesnar's last appearance at WrestleMania 36 was the same night fans last saw John Cena in WWE, but that hiatus could end at WrestleMania Backlash. With Cena recently posting an image of the WWE logo, there's been speculation that Cena is coming home, but he won't be wrestling this Sunday. Instead, a return at WrestleMania Backlash would be to promote the upcoming Suicide Squad movie and Peacemaker series he'll be starring in, as well as the upcoming WWE-produced show on Peacock, where Cena will document some of wrestling's greatest villains. Recently, Cena hinted that he's open to a match against reigning NXT champion Karrion Kross, who said he's ready to end Cena's legendary career. So, whilst a return by Cena this Sunday won't see him competing, he hasn't completely dismissed the idea of a final match in a WWE ring. Last year, Sonya Deville escaped a near kidnapping attempt when an intruder tried to take her from her home where she was hanging out with Mandy Rose. Philip Thomas was arrested at the time and is facing multiple charges, including aggravated stalking, armed kidnapping, burglary, and criminal mischief, but now there's been a major update in the case. Wrestling Inc. has found that in a competency hearing this week, Thomas was found incompetent to stand trial and is awaiting transfer to Florida State Hospital in Chattahoochee. Under Florida law, a defendant is incompetent to stand trial if they do not present sufficient ability to defend themselves in court or is unable to understand that there are charges against them. Unlike being found not guilty by reason of insanity, an incompetent to proceed junction may be rescinded if competency can be later proven, and we'll keep viewers up to date on this case as it continues. Even more SmackDown news next, as this week's show saw new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions crowned in Natalya and Tamina. A rematch from Night 2 of WrestleMania, the multi-generational stars won thanks to a top rope splash by Tamina on Nia Jax, followed by an emotional promo by Natalya to start SmackDown. This is only Natalya's third title reign in WWE since her debut in 2008, and Tamina's second since her 2010 call-up, with her other being a brief 24/7 title reign, so it's safe to say that this win was long overdue for the new champions. And we're ending today with SmackDown, which also saw Dominic and Rey Mysterio standing tall, as the former WWE champion toppled Dolph Ziggler, but this isn't a good sign for the father and son tag team. Traditionally, getting the win on the final show before a pay-per-view is a strong indicator that Rey and Dominic will lose to the Dirty Dogs this Sunday, but WWE may be preparing to break their own rule on this occasion. After all, Sunday's SmackDown Tag Team title match has been built around Rey and Dominic becoming the first father and son tag team champions, and WWE is all about being able to promote history, making moments through their various social media channels. More than anything, the timing of the title change would be good, as Ziggler and Robert Roode have had a lengthy title reign, whilst other teams like the Street Profits and Alpha Academy have taken a back seat. Whatever the result, it'll be an interesting match, and despite Rey's victory on SmackDown, a tag title change seems all but guaranteed at this point. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.